performing at New York Comic Con. Yes! So thanks to all of you for tricking the staff into thinking I'm special. So for everyone who does not know, my name is Uncle Yo. I am a geek-specific stand-up comedian. I'm not a geek who tours around and does comedy. I'm specifically a comedian who talks only about geeky, nerdy things. Only, because it's the only thing that I understand, because you have to understand the rest of the world downright freaking insane. I'm a geek-specific stand-up comedian. That means rather than having a health insurance policy, I have hit points. Once those go out, pause it for a second, Eve Hypo will be all fine. But yeah, it's just an interesting setup. Is you've got the New York Anime Festival down tucked away into a little basement, where the screaming weeaboos will not disturb the comic book fans, because all the New York Anime Festival fans are coming like, oh my gosh, look at all this Hollywood industry, I get to meet actors, and all the Comic Con goers are like, when did Otakon move up north? Whoops. So we're shoved down there in a little bit of a basement where the only fear factor, the only problem that the geek community poses to the rest of the world can start forming. Con stink. This was a great idea. Get a bunch of hyped up, over-hormonal little 15-year-olds down into one little corner of the basement where there's one exit and no windows. That's fantastic, because I've been to so many conventions, especially during the dance, during the rave, where the funk just begins to spread. Some people are so stinky it feels like they bottled up their funk from the last year and just let it ferment like a wine. And then they brought it to the Pokemon panel and just released it. Psh, coffee! Noisy, get away from me. Some people are so stinky they leave a scent trail, and you can follow them like Wolf Mode and Twilight Princess. All the way to the signing, all the way over there. A lot of things are under construction, that's fine. That construction area, by the way, is not actually under construction. That's just Bruce Campbell's green room. Specifically, there's a bunch of gallons of blood, he's got some shotgun rounds, and a laughing moose head back there. Just specifically. I like that too. But the con funk is dangerous. I mean, Ninja, please. Just because you're dressed like a zombie does not mean you need to smell the part. Bathing is good. Not bathing is what made the bubonic plague such a raging success. And it was a raging success because it did exactly what it wanted to do. Kill off the British. Oh, you guys are going to hate the Italian bit after that. That's another thing, the woo factor. You just say something, and when they recognize, they just kind of scream it. I had Cheerios this morning. I had cereal! They just want to find someone who understands, or at least feigns understanding. That's the joy of that. I'm at the New York Comic Con. I'm geeking out, getting signatures of all my favorite writers. I will do everything in my power to meet Brian Michael Bendis today, one of my favorite comic book writers of all time. My question to everyone else, well, obviously no one here understands Brian Michael Bendis reference, is Brian Michael Bendis such an amazing comic book writer? He could write a story that he himself could not retcon. I asked Peter Parker about that. He said, I'll give you the answer in one more day. And it's just like it never happened. Thank you, Mephistopheles. One guy claps. It's gonna be a long hour. I remember last year when that horrific event when Disney bought out Marvel Comics. Now, here's the thing. Now, of course, we were all terrified of that, right? We were all scared that Disney was going to march in and just Disneyfy everything, because those people ruined Broadway. They scared away the crack horse and the naked cowboy and made room for the Lion King. Thanks. It's not Times Square anymore without a naked cowboy screaming at me half the time. All right? They made Green Day into a musical. That defeats the purpose of being against the establishment if you have a Broadway musical. If people are on stage enunciating their songs, it's not Green Day. I've been listening to Green Day since I was in the 4th grade, like back in 14 years, they've never learned to sing an actual word. If someone is on stage actually singing their lyrics, it defeats the purpose of it being Green Day. We were terrified that Disney would take over Marvel and just rewrite everything. Sorry, Punisher, you can't use guns anymore. You have to start slapping people with flowers. Wolverine can't pop his claws anymore. He just has to go around kicking people in the shins. Daken, that's cool for because he's Japanese. They have different morals, apparently. It's Japan. They make Germany look normal. The French love that joke. Weird just so afraid that all the Marvel villains would start running around with Nerf guns, except Deadpool, who did not get the memo. That's why we love Deadpool. That pun was downright fierce. Oh. I don't get what I was hoping was that Marvel would start taking over Disney, like start revamping the theme parks. Shoot, man, they've got Harry Potter now. Why don't they just take that stupid golf ball in Epcot and make it Asteroid M? Like, why don't they make the Tower of Terror Avengers Tower? That would be fine. I'm so distracted now because I got StarCraft 2 just staring me right in the head. We will talk about that. StarCraft 2 out this year. You play Zerg. You get pwned by South Koreans. It's their religion. I got owned. My own home. I hate ghosts. See, the joy was like when Disney bought out Marvel was in the middle of my favorite year of comic books, Dark Reign, in which one of Spider-Man's villains, Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, was in charge of everything. The world was in terror. It was like when we elected Dick Cheney president. I'm sorry, Bush president. Whoops. And just, it was so weird, you know, because Marvel's releasing Dark Reign, and Disney buys them out. Is Spider-Man calling for help? Like, you expect to get down to Disney World, you lift up Mickey Mouse's head, Tony Stark! Are you hiding from Norman Osborn? It's a Dark Reign after all, kid. Listen, you got any booze? Here, let me drink over here. Because it's a world of carnage, a world of doom. It's a world with strife and apocalypse to the Avengers. You want more? There's the Fantastic Four. It's a Dark Reign after all. It's a Dark Reign after all.
It's a Dark Reign after all.
It's a Dark Reign after all. It's a dark reign. How many Miss Marvels do you need to be reincarnated? It's a world of mutants, a world of Skrulls. It's where Norman Osborn barely holds control. If you're big or you're small, Wolverine pwns you all. It's a Dark Reign after all. And if Disney thinks it's tanking Marvel's stash, they may want PG, they're gonna get Hulk smash. There's no fan who will stand if they censor Spider-Man. It's a Dark Reign after all. Just with you guys. It's a Dark Reign
After all. It's a Dark Reign after all.
Black Knight.
It's a Dark Reign after all. It's a dark reign.
That is creepy. Thank you so much, guys. That was a lot of fun. I had fun with that. A lot more fun than maybe Mario's visit to Jurassic Park. I will ride all of you. I slave Yoshi. Looks like you're next. I have accepted at this point. I've pretty much peaked at this point. I'm performing at the New York Comic Con. I'm super stoked. This is what 4 years of traveling has gotten me. And I've accepted I've peaked. So there are basically some things I'm never going to get the chance to do. At this point, I am never going to skydive. I'm never going to get good at juggling. Never going to rickroll an audience. Never beat Final Fantasy II. Give you up. Let you down. Give you the runaround. Sponge Bay the dinosaur. Desert you. That's my own fault. Everyone blames that there's such terrible education here in America. There's no public education here in America. Obviously, Bart Simpson is still in the 4th grade since 1989. He couldn't even pass the standardized testing. Let's be honest. I mean, there's a lot of weird things going on in the world right now. Does anyone remember earlier this year on Ronkonkoma, Long Island, when Darth Vader robbed a bank? I am not making this up. A guy dressed up like Darth Vader with camouflage pants, thinking that he would blend in with the white marble tile floor, and the bank tellers would think they were being robbed by a ghost. Oh. He robbed the bank with a semi-automatic. Now see, I'm a cosplay purist. I believe if you're gonna do something, go all out, do it right. He should have force choked the teller, used lightning bolts on the ATM, and and ran off with all of my money. I mean, the recession is bad if George Lucas has to rob a bank, because that man has been robbing your parents since 1976. He does it every 5 years, re-releasing it. Here's more footage of Han Solo running down the hallway. It's terrible. Rather than dressing up like Darth Vader and robbing a bank, he should have dressed up like Jar Jar Binks and robbed me of my childhood. That would have been appropriate. He's also started a very bad trend, like a bunch of Borg cosplayers were knocking over, starting an orgy in the Radio Shack. And then all these Wookiee cosplayers who ran and started liberating all the pets in the PetSmart. But honestly, you don't dress up like the main villain and rob a bank. Unless you're the Joker, you never step foot into the thing you're robbing. So my expectation was he should have gotten a bunch of friends to dress up like the stormtroopers, run into the bank while he sat in the getaway Prius listening to Lady Gaga. Stormtrooper would have run.
Sir, all the pens are stapled to the desks and they're out of lollipops.